Welcome to Flourish in 5. My name is Heather Lawton, and every Friday I share a story, a lesson, or a quick idea with the goal of helping you gain a new perspective. If you could please do me a favor and subscribe, like, share, rate, etc., all of the things with the podcast, it would be incredibly helpful. So obviously, I am really into personal growth and development, and I love to build good, sustaining habits. I talked last week about the book Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin that I recently finished and I really, really loved. We talked about the broken windows theory. And, I was thinking, what are some new habits that I could add to my routine to improve my life? And always with in the back of my mind, the thought is, and improve my business. And I do all of the things that are recommended in every single book. Like I get up early, I get ready, I exercise, I drink water, I eat well, I brush and floss my teeth, I journal, I read, I meditate. I mean, what else could you possibly add in terms of good habits? So I started to explore some, I don't know, for lack of a better term, wacky, really strange habits that I'm trying to incorporate into my routine. I'm a little bit embarrassed to share them today, but not really because it's funny. And the first comes from Gretchen's book. She talks about this and she learned it from someone else about the importance of balance. So the first thing we lose when we age is our balance. And what happens to older people? Oftentimes they fall, they break a hip, they get pneumonia, they die. I mean, that just seems like that's a trend. Balance is a real issue. I know that as my mom ages, balance is an issue for her. So this person suggested that you stand on one foot when you brush your teeth, and that will help you with your balance. Now, I exercise, I work on my balance. So I thought, okay, but why not? I decided that I wanted to start off my mornings on the right foot, literally. So when I brush my teeth, and I have an electric toothbrush that has a timer, so I'm standing for 2 minutes, right? Is that right? 2 minutes? Yeah. I stand on my right foot and I brush my teeth. And then in the evening, I stand on my left foot and I brush my teeth. And if I brush my teeth in the middle of the day, which often happens, I will just sort of alternate in order to improve my balance. Both Gretchen and the person who recommended this to her swear by this. Like it was life changing that it improved their balance. So I thought, why not? Okay, so that's now in my routine. And the second thing is a lot wackier. And I recently read a book by James Nestor called Breath. I read this book because someone I really respect recommended it to me. I ordered it immediately. And when I received it, I looked at it and I thought, wow, that's actually a pretty big book to talk about breathing. And I think I have that down, but maybe I don't. And it turns out that I, in fact, do not. I believe this book is a must read or must listen if you're into audio for everyone. I'm not even kidding. I could not put it down. I finished it in a few days. The science is fascinating. For example, why are humans one of the few, if only mammals, with chronically crooked teeth? It's because of the way our palate formed, and our palate formed based on what we eat and how we breathe. And it turns out, for the most part, we are, in fact, doing it wrong. Most of us are chronic mouth breathers, which is not good. And again, you have to get into the science behind it, the purpose of the nose and the nasal passages. It is truly fascinating. But he talks about this experiment that, and some people do this, they tape their mouths shut at night. So it forces them to breathe in and out through their nose, and it's cured all of these ailments. People suffering from different things, specifically anxiety and depression, have seen a lot of improvement when they changed how they breathe. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I am a chronically stuffed person. I have terrible allergies. I'm always fighting it. Oftentimes I have zero air, zero, like through my nasal passages. So I'm often breathing through my mouth, and I really want to work to rectify this because apparently this is messing with my palate and my longevity. So the author spoke to someone, I can't remember, recommending trying to tape your mouth shut. But it's not going to go well at first because you're going to panic and you're going to feel like you can't breathe and you're going to rip it off. And so you just want to build up to this over time, to sleeping all night with your mouth taped shut. Okay. All right. So the other night I get into bed and I decide to put a Band-Aid just like a round Band-Aid in the middle of my mouth so that I would force myself to breathe through my nose. And I was having a good day in terms of allergies. So thankfully I was able to breathe. And I just grabbed a Band-Aid from the box, and it happened to be an emoji Band-Aid. And it happened to be the poop emoji, which makes this even more hilarious. So I put it in my mouth and I'm getting into bed and Craig is like, what in the world are you doing? I said, I'm taping my mouth shut. I've got to figure out how to breathe through my nose properly. I just don't want to live my life forever being a mouth breather. It's embarrassing. So we turned off the lights, and I think it lasted approximately 39 seconds, and I ripped it off and I was like gasping for air. I was like, I can't do this. I can't breathe. Well, last night I tried it again, but rather than waiting until I was going to sleep, I decided to tape my mouth shut. I know how this sounds. I decided to tape my mouth shut, this time with a smiley emoji, while I was reading in bed. So before like actually trying to go to sleep. And I very comfortably kept that Band-Aid on my mouth for a solid 45 minutes. I was nose breathing in and out through my nose, and I slept great. But I took it off when I was going to sleep because I for some reason can't manage that yet. Can't manage it yet, but I'm working my way towards it. I slept great. And for the first time in years, forever, I could not tell you when, I actually slept through the night without waking up to have to use the restroom. And he explains the chemicals that are released in your brain based on how you breathe and your sleep cycles, and why we oftentimes wake up to use the restroom when really, if we were breathing properly, we wouldn't have to. When I first read that, I did not believe it. I was like, okay, maybe I just drank too much water, but I actually don't drink much after dinner. So it has nothing to do with fluid intake. In fact, I thought it was related to just my age and the fact that I had 2 children, but maybe not. Maybe it's because I'm a Neanderthal and I breathe through my mouth. I don't know. So I'm trying this experiment. First was standing on one foot while brushing my teeth. That seems pretty reasonable and straightforward. The mouth taping, I know sounds really bizarre. I just really strongly recommend that you pick up this book and check it out because it's fascinating. I'll post the link below in the comments and let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next episode.